Welcome back, everyone. Michael here with Offshore Citizen. Today I'm going to talk about a factor you may wish to consider in looking at where to relocate. And this was perhaps best exemplified by a conversation I was having with a client recently where they asked me to compare Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, with London, England, and saying which is better. And ironically, actually, I just had a conversation with somebody else who had moved from London to Vancouver, and so I was having a conversation about which they preferred. Now, this initial client who I was talking to was discussing not being able to go to the US. Okay, so the US, for a variety of different reasons, was going to be off the table, and so would it be better to live in Vancouver part of the year or London part of the year? So I would love to hear what factors, before I get into what factor I'm going to talk about in this particular episode, you guys think it is that we were discussing that might have made a difference. Before we do that, please put them in the comments below, tell us what it is that you think, and then hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the all notifications, make sure you don't miss out on any of our future videos. Thanks for subscribing, really appreciate it. And if you'd like help with where to move, how to set up internationally, getting residencies, citizenships, what residency or citizenship to get set up, setting up international tax optimization, optimizing your company, setting up companies, opening bank accounts, etc. Please reach out to me. You can book a call, calendly.com/Michael-Rosworth. There's a link in the description below, or send a message to our websites, offshorecitizen.net or offshorecapitalist.com. Okay, let's dive in. So the topic that we were discussing is connectivity and or proximity. What do I mean by this? Well, a given place has a certain amount to offer. And it turns out, both Vancouver and London offer quite a bit in their own ways. On the other hand, there is what the area around them offers. And this is where Europe has a strong advantage over places such as in Canada, right? So let's use this particular example. In the case of Vancouver, Vancouver is a beautiful city. There's lots going on there. Quality of life is good. Weather is pretty good, so on and so forth. However, let's say that you wanted to go and explore another area for a weekend or a week or even a couple weeks. Where do you go? Well, if you take the US off the table, that removes Hawaii, that removes Seattle, that removes, all of the US. Everything's pretty far, Okay, you could fly out to another part of Canada, but even, there, going to Toronto is fairly far, etc. It's difficult to go somewhere for a weekend, say, right? By contrast, if you look at London, what is within a short flight of London? A lot, right? All of Europe is within a short flight of London. You might even argue that you could go to the east coast of Canada, the US. So, as a result, if you want to take a quick trip, you go down to the airport, you get into a flight, you go there, you get on Eurostar train, you go to Belgium, you go to France, you go to etc. This is something that is pretty appealing. And so one of the tools that I want to encourage you to look at when considering where to go is the website Flight Connection. I believe it's flightconnections.com. And you can go and you can see which airlines fly to where, and you can start to see which cities are more connected. This is an advantage of places like Istanbul, advantage of places like London, advantage of places such as Dubai, etc., right? So having that connection really does something if you like this digital nomad traveler lifestyle. It was one of the factors that when I first went to Bulgaria was a factor for me, because I looked at it and I said, okay, well, I've previously coming from Canada to explore a bunch of the more backwater areas in Europe actually was quite a hassle, right? You're talking about paying, a decent amount of money and quite a lot of time to fly each way. So you normally just, if you're coming for a short period of time, you want to hit the highlight cities, right? The highlight countries. And so are you going to spend time going to someplace like Macedonia or like Romania or Moldova or, places that are less popular? Maybe not, right? But when places are close, you can say, all right, I can jump on a plane, I can be somewhere in an hour, maybe two, and it's not a big deal to go explore it for a weekend. If I like it, I can spend more time. I can go spend a week somewhere, and there's no big deal. And that's really nice for getting to see more of the world, for exploring, kind of expanding your horizons, etc. So just something to consider when you're thinking about where to relocate, in addition to other factors, is what is the connectivity to other places, right? You have a place like Dubai that has essentially 3 major airports, 3 airlines from there. You have some place like Istanbul, which has Turkish Airlines, I believe it has more destinations than any other airline anywhere in the world, et cetera, et cetera. And the proximity, you know, how quick and easy is it to get to those places? This is a drawback I mentioned of some place like Montenegro. Beautiful country, you know, wonderful people, et cetera. But the reality is the connectivity is really poor. And so I'm going to kind of dock at some points compared to some other places. Obviously, it's not the only factor. You know, there's many other things that weigh out, but it's one thing to keep in mind. So let me know how important that is to you guys. Let me know some cities that stand out to you because of how connected they are. And, you know, have you considered maybe basing yourself at least part of the year in certain cities that are well connected in a region that allow you to see that area? I know I've done that myself around Southeast Asia, maybe Singapore, Bangkok, and then being able to see some of the surrounding areas. And then you can kind of do something similar in Latin America, and you can do something similar in Europe. So let me know, and please reach out to us if you have any interested in getting help with, like I said, setting yourself up internationally or setting your company up internationally. Give a thumbs up to the video if you like it. Let me know what it is you'd like to see. I'd love to hear your suggestions, and I'm going to look forward to seeing you guys on the next video.